always pushing health, wealth, better understanding self, and giving praise to the Most High. So check this out. In this video, I'm just going over Carmelo Anthony raised over $200,000. A lot of people are furious. I like to take that uh, amazing Lucas had on this. He has some good factual information. But I've been getting in a lot of my comment section. People are like upset that people will actually put money to help someone that they feel alive somebody. I hate to say that on my channel. You know how YouTube be. But we got proof of other people getting money in their account that was accused of doing some horrible things. Even the guy that shot up the church, Dylan Brooks or whatever his name is, they took him to McDonald's and gave him some burgers and fries. Just, I mean, and they don't like to speak about this. It just seems when I look at my comment section, this is what's getting black and white people, because I gotta salute. There are white people that's standing on business that's calling out this hypocrisy as well. They understand, they see the difference. But some are just so blinded that they only want to concentrate when it's on black people. And that lets you know where their mind's at. We don't advocate and nobody taking nobody lives. We're just pointing out the hypocrisy. We're pointing out when Robert Brooks got killed in that prison, it took 2 weeks with video evidence for them to arrest the prison guards. We see how justice moves when it's the opposite race. And you guys should be the same, have the same outrage. Because if everything was the same, nobody would say anything. It wouldn't matter for us to be upset or say anything because justice would be justice overall. You got Zimmerman. He got off with killing a 16-year-old kid. Okay, kid, saying that he was in danger of his life. He had a kid that he was going at it with. So with all of this in the news and the trauma that people have to see, and they have to see this, now when it's reversed, it's like, oh man, this guy, he got arrested immediately, and they're still pissed. So I'm gonna go over this video. Shout out to everybody who subscribed to the channel, push that like button and push my videos. We're gonna see what amazing Lucas and he had some content and some information that shows these guys are hypocrites. Check this out.
So what we are witnessing right now is the Coon force, because the Coon force is out in full force right now. And for those of you who may not be aware, the Coon force is nothing more than a bunch of mediocre, subpar black individuals that go out of their way to defend white people. They've been hired by white people, and so their prime objective is to defend white people at all costs. So when you get stories like Carmelo Anthony, this is where they make their money. This is how they make their living. And regardless of what the context is of the story, their primary focus, like I said, is to defend white people. So they will belittle, they will, castigate, they will deride, they will, do anything in their power to frame the black person, whether they're a victim or not, as the bad person. They are the bad guy. And that's what we're witnessing right now.
And let me tell you something, black people, you have a serious lack of accountability culture.
Yeah, it's something wrong with the black community.
And it's a race war underneath the surface of our country, mostly projected by black people.
You are a fucking idiot.
So amid Carmelo Anthony raising, I believe right now it's almost over 200K. So kudos to him. If you haven't supported his Go Send Me, I would definitely check that out. They are now screaming and crying about, you guessed it, black people. That's what they're doing. It's a playbook as old as time. It's very much goes back to mandatory manumission, where they reward black people for snitching on possible rebellions and revolts and individuals who wanted freedom.
Wake up, nigga.
This now is a business, and it's a business that is highly promoted from the right. We see such individuals as Coon Owens, Brandon Tantrum, Rob Bushy Smith, and the rest of them. And I find it very interesting, the stuff that they're saying. First and foremost, you have Brandon Tantrum. Now, the reason why we call him Tantrum is that the veneer of his, I'm one of the good ones, happened to fall apart when Hotep Jesus, pushed some buttons. And then all of a sudden, the ignorant came out.
I'm gone, man. Bill.
Now, y'all need to check out my video I did on this guy where he was explaining how black people is so violent and all of this. Check this out.
You the fakest nigga I ever seen in my life. They created the crime bill. I see you in person. They created the crime bill. Be accountable for what you said. They created. I'm done, bro. You a fake nigga. I hope everybody see that. I appreciate it. Fake, bro. I'm gonna expose you to everybody. And when I see you, nigga, we gonna be. It's gonna be on. I want you to know that. Because you call me on the phone and you're saying all this, and then you get on the live stream and you playing this shit. You should be ashamed of yourself. Is that black on black crime? Is that black on black crime? You's a bitch. I called you. Everybody on your live stream know you's a bitch. And when I see you, I'm whooping your ass. Everybody got you on live stream. I like it. You want to be hood, nigga? You want to be hood? You on the phone talking shit to me, and you call me and say you apologize?
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Now, that being said, he comes out and says, oh, what's going on with black people? Why are they supporting this guy? He's going to be found guilty, yada, 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 yada.
Let me show you very clearly why I think this is a problem and why this is a racial issue.
And the issue that I find, because it's always funny when, an officer of 6 years try to give his faux understanding of the law, because most officers don't understand the law. They understand how to utilize the law to arrest you. That's the extent of their law. But when it comes down to it, his presumption of his whole display is based off of the belief that he believes that Anthony stabbed this person in the heart intentionally.
If you didn't intend to kill the guy, but you should know that stabbing somebody in the heart could cause serious damage, serious bodily injury to that person, and is clearly negligent and is dangerous to human life.
There's no data, there's no evidence, there's no facts and evidence, as I say, that leads to that conclusion, aside from black person bad, right? That's all there is. That's what they run off. We've seen this time and time again. When it comes to Breonna Taylor, he's tried to do the same thing. When it comes to George Floyd, he's tried to do the same thing. When it comes to a litany of people, okay, Trayvon Martin, the list goes on, unfortunately. This is what they do.
I miss you like a hog miss fly.
Now, I will say the only thing that I see that they may get him on is with the knife. From what I've read, it's been a pocket knife, and a pocket knife is legal under state Texas code, but in school grounds, it's illegal. So they may get him on that. But he can be found guilty of I think it's like a misdemeanor for the pocket knife, and being found innocent of manslaughter and murder. Tantrum is trying to do is say that, hey, he's guilty of all of the above because he finds him guilty on murder or manslaughter. Now, this is all based off of this not being a self-defense. If they find him that he was actually defending himself, which is what a family member has said, that there's video evidence suggesting that, right? Once again, I want you to understand, he's just spitting off the top of his head from a perspective that black person bad. That's all he's doing to appease his white racist audience, the white ignorance that is his audience base. So what we have to wait for, once again, is the facts and evidence. And the facts and evidence is suggesting that this seems to be a self-defense case. Because it wasn't gratuitous. He wasn't, shanking the person. It was one stab wound from what I've heard. Okay, what I've read thus far, one stab wound, and it just so happened to be that the kid is no longer with us.
It has nothing to do with his skin color.
This now leads us to the next one, which is Rob Bushy Smith. The reason why we call him Rob Bushy Smith is that he was kicked out of the Republican Party due to him being a homosexual.
So the neo-Nazis and the white supremacists wanted me out of the Republican Party, and guess what? I'm out.
But at the end of the day, he has to get a check, right? He has rent due, just like everyone else. The only difference is he's prostituting his skin color as a shield for racist beliefs of the people who, I don't know, the five people who still follow him.
Damn.
But he goes on and talk about accountability, and he can't believe the black people, yada, yada, yada.
There is a GoFundMe that has been set up for Karmelo Anthony, who's a 17-year-old black kid that killed the 17-year-old white kid. And let me tell you something, black people, you have a serious lack of accountability culture, because only a people that have zero accountability would literally take money out of their own pockets to set up a GoFundMe and to send money to a young man that killed another man.
This is what I'm saying. They didn't never say nothing about these guys that Derek Chauvin, all of these guys got over 200,000. They don't feel like black people and these people feel the same way. They don't feel like black people should have the same thing. That's how they mind is wired. It don't matter what it is. Black people should not have the same advantages as white people. Let me let them rock.
Now, I find this hysterical, them bringing up accountability when we have January 6th. We have white people who are abusing officers, violating officers, urinating on the floor, defecating on the walls, a litany of just degenerate behavior, and there's no accountability for that. For us, all we're concerned, it wasn't an insurrection. It was nothing more than a tourist attraction. So, but once again, that's a privilege they're allowed to have. Black people always have to be held accountable. There's never a point in time in the history of this country where black people haven't been held accountable. That doesn't exist. Damn. So I find it a bit, I find it ironic that you're talking about accountability for black people. But they're upset that black people are defending black people. They're upset that black people are actually supporting black people. That's what they don't want. Because what all these coons do is that they want division. And that's what you have to understand. When it comes to, they not a black American, they African. All that stems from division. That is a tactic of racists. That's what it is. If you look, since we got here, that's always been a tactic to divide and conquer. That's what they were allowed, and that's what they promoted. And so if we can divide amongst ourselves, their job is done. That's easy for them. So all these the Coon Force does is try to divide black people. They try and bootlick for white people because those are the ones who are giving them the money. And they're in a position to give them the money. You have to forego all integrity to have such a position. And it goes back to the scripture where it says, the love of money is the root of all evil. And we see this. We then go into the Coon twins, right? And they talk about, I don't know what's wrong with black people, blah, 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 blah. It's always, they don't know what's wrong with black people. That's the funny part. It's always, I don't know what's going on with black people this, black people that. They'll never speak this way of white people.
I miss you.
They'll never speak this way.
Like a baby. Miss Mammy Titty.
And I want people to understand that this is exclusive to black people because it stems from slavery. It just is what it is. A lot of these people who want to take it, slavery happened in the past. Yeah, sure. So did the Holocaust, but you would never say that to them.
He's out of line, but he's right.
But a lot of these people from slavery, they had children. Like I say, the lineage of evil. You have this slave master mentality that these people have. So they have done the same thing that their slave masters did. They employed, the coons of the black populace to do their dirty work. And what that does is allows for racists to not be seen as racist because now they have a black face. And that's what they're doing. They're utilizing them for their black skin, nothing more and nothing less, because half of these people are extremely unintelligent, extremely low IQs, that if they were to have the same beliefs but be on the liberal side, they would call them every name of the book. But because they are utilizing their skin color for their financial gain or for their political gain and their empowerment, white people's empowerment, they're good. They're one of the good ones. They're a free thinker.
Wake up, nigga.
And they use their skin color as a shield.
This is
because
crazy,
you have
man.
these black people who are saying all this anti-black stuff. You now get to offload any type of guilt or any type of accusation onto them. It's like, I'm not saying it. The black person's saying it. I'm just repeating what the black person is saying. So, I just think that I agree with them. And that's the hustle. That is the business of the Republican Party. That is the business that many of these coons, that's what they live. That's how they live. It's not really the best lifestyle, but it does come with its benefits.
Beta.
Nevertheless, I find it also interesting when it comes to them being upset that black people supporting themselves. And here's the thing. I don't know why you would be so upset. If you think he's guilty, then what does it matter? What does it matter what I do with my money? If I want to support him, then I should be able to support him. But they never do this for anyone else who is not black. They never do this. Kyle Rittenhouse was a hero, even though he did everything wrong under the book, right? He disobeyed his mother. He comes from a single parent household. That never came up. He was abusive to other women, what we had on camera. He had violent tendencies, as we had on camera, talking about possibly assaulting people that he believed was shoplifting, litany of things. But he's a national hero, right? He had this with Ashley Babbitt, did everything wrong, but she's a hero, okay? She's a patriot. So you just have to understand, racism can come from a black face. Anti-black racism definitely can come from a black face, and that's how they get away with it, and especially in present day. You have plausible deniability, and that's what they build their empire on top of. The only problem is when black people fight back. When black people stop playing games and we fight back and we get our head, okay, in the game, then you lose. That's what happens. You lose. Now, when it comes to the trial, I'll be paying attention to the trial. I'll be giving updates to the trial.
Now, shout out to Amazing Lucas, but we never hear these, right? Like, now that I'm understanding the Officer Tatum and these guys, they only got smoke for black people. A white person can do something. That's why and a lot of people was in my comments talking about ABL. They was like, yo, he, but he at least showed where he gave white people criticism and black people. There are some that's gonna keep it 100, but majority of these guys that I'm seeing, it's like they will never go on their platform. Their platform is strictly for pandering to white people. And white people love that. They love that. They'll disrespect black people in their comment section, talk about them, and they won't care. They're like, yeah, they're black. It's just crazy to me that the hypocrisy. But let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace and love.
You are totally dependent on other people to take care of your needs because you don't have those roots sunk into the ground. To have a community, you must have three things to have a community in it. You must have a wholly independent economic structure that can provide goods, service, products, and things for your own people, and jobs and tax bases for your own people. You should at least control 4 basic things. You should be trying to control water, food, medicine, and energy to be able to survive.
Here we got Mr. Pollock. He had a cornfield. He took advantage of a free water test from us, and this is what we found in this water. We found sulfur, we found hardness, and we solved these problems with an easy fix of 2 tanks. So get your free water test today. Stay blessed. Click the link below.